Hi, everyone. Thank you for all of your donations. It culminated to a successful care drive to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. This video commences our Voice from the Ground series, which platforms experiences, backgrounds, and future endeavors of the community that we have helped and we will continue helping. We hope you enjoy the first episode.
All right. Yeah, like I was saying, thank you so much for obviously your help that you were such an help throughout July and prepping and getting everything done. So for today's, I guess, interview in a sense, it's really just to get a feel for who you are and really tell us about your experience with us. Does that make sense?
Oh, sure, man.
So I wanted to start off with a question about your early childhood roots. Growing up, what experiences or challenges shaped your view of your community and giving back? And how did those early years influence you as a person?
Sure. First, thank you for this opportunity to sharing a little bit about myself. As I told you a couple of times, it was our pleasure to host you. I think that it was incredible your initiative and coming down to the DR to help out so many needed people here. So I grew up in a very poor neighborhood here in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. I was super lucky to have Christian parents who had stable jobs and also who had the blessing of a good education for themselves. So although I was growing up there, my situation was really different from most of the people around me. But I grew up, you know seeing that reality, seeing some of my friends sometimes didn't have what to eat for that date.
Mhm,
I remember one of my friend asking me, "Hey, do you always has have food
mhm,
in your table like every single day?" And this was something that until that moment I took for granted.
yeah,
I thought like, why are you asking me that? Of course, we always have food in our tables, but then I got the sense that no everyone had the same opportunities, the same themes. So I grew up very sensitive to
right,
other people's needs. So that shaped a lot my personality. And anytime that first I know that every person, every family have their struggles, and it is not our job to judge them. It is not always their fault, and whatever we can do to help is good.
all right, yeah. I appreciate how comprehensive you were with it, and I have a very similar background, so I could resonate with that as well. As you got older, how did some of those experiences shape you per se, like on your day-to-day now? And how have you made giving back a priority in your life, or how has it contributed in your life?
Sure. First, I always give thanks to God for all the blessings that we receive as a family. I know that everything is a gift from God, and with the more material things you receive, the more responsibility you have, to use them well. And I know that part of using those blessings uh, well is sharing with others. Also, our parents, we saw that in our parents. My father used to have a foundation to help people to carry out the different activities, to deliver clothes, also to deliver Also taking, doctors to different neighbors. You can talk with my dad about that. And growing up, I also saw that, and I that also gave me that responsibility that it's important to share our things, our blessings with others.
Absolutely. I think this streamlights straight into our next question, which is, how did you first hear about our donation drive? And I know you've had some experiences with drives and care projects, and what motivated you in a sense to support it, given your background?
Ah, of course. As soon as my nephew Edouard told me that you were interested in doing that and coming to the Dominican Republic, I was immediately, down to help in whatever capacity I could. So, and also knowing that you are a friend of my with my nephew, and also that you were coming to do something that connects so deeply with myself. If with no doubt for me
Yeah,
that I will need to collaborate and engage as much as possible.
absolutely. In doing so, what was your role in a sense? How could you describe it? And what were some of the challenges you might have faced?
Sure. First, coordinating with the local church, making sure that the people were ready to receive the donations. Also coordinating the timing. Uh, you know, uh, it was given through a church, and usually churches has a lot of activities during the weekends, especially on Sabbath day. So we were able to align with them and make sure that the people who would need this were there. That was super important, because if we do everything else, like, okay, bringing the buses, bringing you to the church, and being there, but then the people who will need that the most are not around, then we did nothing. So making sure that those people knew that we were doing that on that day, and were there in activity. This was the most important part of the logistic.
Right, for sure. I know on our end it was a bit hard to coordinate and give you guys like a solid date simply because when you ship it out, they give you like this range. So thankfully it worked out in our response or in our favor. With that being said, how did you think the event went and what was tell us a little bit about it. Tell us some candid opinions from your side.
Oh, they went really really great. Looking at the happy faces when they found something that they knew that will be super useful for them, and that probably they didn't have the mean to get those things by themselves.
Right,
You know, that satisfaction on their faces, that's priceless. That as I don't know if you remember, I mentioned that I had other plans for that weekends with a group of friends,
right.
but then I decided to instead cancel and stay here in the city
Thank you.
with you. And then that Sabbath, I said to myself, okay, it was totally worth it to be here and to help out with whatever I could with. There was a very good day.
Right. So yeah, I forgot all about that. I actually don't remember you saying that at all. So thank you. Thank you so much for making the time and I'm happy it was something that you enjoyed being a part of. Um, with that being said, what impact did you see the donations have on the overall community during and after the fact? And how was it received and what have you heard after the fact, especially?
Oh, of course, my dad, who is part of that local church,
Mhm.
uh, he gave me feedback that people were super happy, that some of them got clothes and shoes and things that they were looking for, that they needed. For some of them, that didn't have the appropriate clothes to go to church. Now they were like happy that they feel like more appropriate for going to church. So it has a huge impact in the community for sure.
I love that. Looking back at it, has the involvement with the event influenced your perspective on community service and how you approach it all?
Oh, sorry, come here.
Has the involvement with the event influenced at all how you think about your perspective? Has it further enhanced it, or how would you perceive it? How would you describe it?
Yeah, man, for sure, being totally honest uh, with you. After that day, I think that people can do more. Sometimes we are, waiting for the right opportunity to have like the right things, and we are waiting. Sometimes, you have the intention to help, but then you told me how you managed to assemble this. It was really quickly, really proactive, and I said, okay. Uh, it's not like how big the donation is, but it's doing something. Is okay. I have things that for others could be really helpful. For other, it could even change their life. So I definitely think that we can do more.
Yeah, and I really resonated with that. When it comes to doing more, that's something that I wanted to challenge myself on. When the idea hit me that I wanted to do something of that nature, it was just like, I'm a big believer that you have to focus on actions and executions. So being able to execute was something I prioritize, and I'm happy to hear that you resonate with that same thought. And I think a lot more people could certainly get involved if you have the idea just to follow through and do it. With that being said, to conclude, is there anything else you want to share? Anything candid you want to say about the drive or anything else?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for doing this. I hope that you continue doing those kind of activities in the future. It was really important for both all the people that work with you to make that happen, and also, of course, for those who receive the donation. So I think that God put that in your heart, and there are so many people that are willing to collaborate, and you are also, being a channel for those people, that are willing to do something, so they can do it through you, and that's really great. That's a bless.
Right, I appreciate that. So all in all, first, thank you so much, and I appreciate your kind words, and you were an incredible help throughout the entire process. Me as well as my team have complete intentions of continuing and scaling and helping as many people as we can. So ultimately, thank you so much. And for anybody that is watching or has the opportunity to take a look at the interview, you saw the impact that I had on the community, and there's amazing people all over, ready to receive any sort of kindness you guys have. So thank you, Edamepsel, and you guys take care.